Reverend Leo Woodberry pastors Kingdom Life Temple in Florence, South Carolina. But when the New York native is not behind the pulpit, he's often working closely with various organizations and the environmental justice movement. In September, Woodberry's organization, New Alpha Community Development Corporation, along with Dogwood Alliance and other community leaders, cut the ribbon on the Freedom Land Community Forest.
This land, once known as the Woodberry Plantation, we now open up the gate and rename it Freedom Land. Freedom Land!
It's 305 acres on the Little Petey River, once the land of Native Americans, then the Woodberry Plantation, where enslaved Africans worked. During the ribbon-cutting ceremony, descendants of both cultural groups paid tribute to their ancestors and blessed the opening of the land that once was a place of bondage.
But first, let me say this. When we signed to purchase this property, I can feel the spirit of our ancestors. I can feel the joy that they felt that this land that should have been theirs now belongs to this community. And so at this time, I'm going to call some of the names of my ancestors and invite you to do the same. Just call them out, or people like Dr. King and others who contributed to our freedom. And so I want to call out the name of my great-grandfather, who was born in 1869, Peter Woodberry. Ashe? Ashe. For my grandmother and my grandfather, Nelson and Bessie Woodberry. Ashe? Ashe.
The forest contains old-growth cypress swamps, 5 oxbow lakes, and a mile of riverfront. It sits in the Britain's Neck community, where much of the population today are descendants of the former plantation's enslaved people. Lavorius Moore says Freedom Land is a good thing.
It makes me think a lot. What did they go through? Because where I live personally, we have been there for 7 generations. And a lot of people are still here from all the years past. And most of the people have moved on. But this land should always stay for everybody to be able to use. And the people that want to come home, they should come home.
The model being developed in Freedom Land Forest is called Justice Conservation. It's an effort that integrates social justice, aiming for equitable outcomes for both people and the planet. In this case, descendants of indigenous and enslaved Africans now own the land that was taken from one group and worked by the forced, uncompensated labor of another.
What we're planning on doing is setting up a community land trust, so that if New Alpha ever sunsets as a nonprofit, we want to have a community trust board made up of the descendants of the ancestors who were enslaved here, so that they will own the land, and we'll have a covenant in place that the land can never be sold, that all the trees can't be cut down, so that we can serve. That's what conservation is about. So we can serve this land, which is a wetland.
Freedom Land Community Forest is also protected from logging. Dana Smith is executive director of Dogwood Alliance. The organization worked closely with Woodberry's organization to purchase the land. She says protecting forests helps communities thrive.
Yeah, so forests provide so many benefits to communities, not the least of which is in a time where flooding is getting worse. These type of wetland forests are like natural flood protection. And so by keeping these forests standing, it's helping to provide a buffer of protection for communities when flooding happens. They also are critical for water quality, for wildlife habitat, and for air quality. So protecting forests has a multitude of many benefits for the community. From an economic standpoint, around us are lots of clear cuts and pine plantations. And the forest industry is having some negative impacts on the rural economy here, because you can see in a community like this that's surrounded by clear cuts and pine plantations that it's not a thriving, economically thriving community. And by leaving forests standing, you can actually diversify the economy here by doing things like outdoor recreation, which nationally provides 5 times more jobs in the forest industry and creates way more economic tax benefits to the community. And it also allows the community to develop a local economy. So one that doesn't really thrive off of big global markets that are extracting wood and taking it out of the community for the benefit and profits of a corporation, but actually helps to leave the forest standing for all the community benefits and allows the community to develop a local economy that's tied to standing forests. And in that way, it's a much stronger and more resilient community and a much stronger and more resilient economy.
Freedom Land is the second community forest purchased in the Petey watershed. It joins a successful wetland forest conservation purchase with the Petey tribe of South Carolina. That tribe now protects 76 acres of ancestral lands. In Britain's Neck, South Carolina, this is the Christian Village News.